So I caught myself making goals and stuff like that, and caught myself putting out I put out some ideas, and I set forth some goals that I wanted to accomplish in 2015. Some of those goals I did accomplish. Like for this channel, I was able to do a live chat. I did that. Also do some podcasts. I did that. Do an actual live gameplay. That was one I've been wanting to do for a long time. I wanted to hit 2,000 subscribers. Never got there. It just didn't work out. It was just weird. I don't know, man. I love the audience and the general feedback and the constant back and forth as far as through the comments and the videos that I put out and the response that I get. But for some reason, I didn't get that. I didn't even hit 1,000, but maybe this year I'll see. I'll just pump out the videos and do my thing. But one of the big things that I wanted to do, that I really didn't put much time and effort into at first, but then as the years started to go by, I started working on it and I accomplished it, and that was to complete at least 25 games for the year. I did more than that, so I'm gonna go down my list.
Are you on the phone?
Huh?
Sorry.
So one of the big goals that I wanted to accomplish was over 25 games, or at least 25 games instead of over 25, and I was able to do that. So I'm gonna go through my list and tell you what I thought of those games and my experience with those games. The first game that I actually completed in 2015 was The Stick of Truth. It was a great RPG, really funny. If you love South Park, you love their humor, and you love all the characters in the story, you pretty much get the gist of it. Definitely pick that game up. It was really fun. I love the whole medieval RPG character play up that they did with the guys and everything. So it made it really, really funny, and I really enjoyed that game. The next game was The Walking Dead Season 2. I like watching the development of Clementine, and then her leaving Lee, and then her becoming her own person and thriving in her own life and still making it. So can't wait for Season 3 to come out. Season 2 was good. The next game was Ghost of Sparta for the PSP. I had beat it originally on the remake for the PS3, but I never beat it on the PSP, so that was cool. That was awesome, and I actually spent a little more time on the PSP because I kept putting it down, playing it, putting it down, playing it, and putting it down, and eventually I got around to it to where I beat that. But I got several copies of it now on the PSP because I ended up finding it in other PSP cases and stuff. The next game was Saints Row 4. I have to honestly say I did not really enjoy the game. It was okay, but what threw me off about the game was the fact that they gave you all these superpowers kind of early on in the game, so there was no need for cars. There was no need. You could fly, you could run up walls, you could do all kinds of crazy stuff. But the storyline, which has always kind of been big, that kept me interested in the game, like 2 and 3. 3 is easily my favorite out of the series, but 4 just wasn't there for me. It didn't have that Saints Row feel to it, so I lost the desire to play the game, but I was already hell-bent on playing it and finishing it, and I did. Another game I played was Art of Fighting Fighter, 2D fighter, nice, crazy RD for my Super Nintendo. Next game was Chains of Olympus for the PSP. It had been years. I think I got this game when it first came out on the PSP, and so I decided once I picked it up again, I decided I wanted to play it again, and it took me a little bit of time, but I actually got through that one and had fun with that. Next game, a big game that was very pivotal to me, one of the big RPGs that I played last year was Rogue Galaxy. Spent about at least 100 hours on that game. Loved the characters, Jaster, the music, soundtrack was awesome, storyline was great. There was a lot of challenges in there. I know I would probably spend less time on the game because I got stuck in the towers, But this was a really awesome game. The next game was Infamous Second Son. This was one of the first games I got to play when I got my PS4. I love the Infamous series. It's a really good game. Delson, he was a really good character. I prefer Cole a little bit more over him, as I've talked about in my characters, my top 5 characters that I love. Next game, another RPG. I put about 60 hours, 50, 60 hours in on this game, just because I was taking in the atmosphere, but I had never watched none of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. So I was just kind of thrown right in the middle of this game, but I like the battle setup. I mean, the combat and being able to battle multiple enemies on one screen, which is something we hadn't accomplished in a lot of games without frame rate drops and all kinds of things. But this game looks spectacular. I would advise you to definitely get this game. It's really good. Next game was KNACK. This game was long, and I didn't set out to beat this game when I found out how many stages there was. I think it was like 30, 40 stages, something real ridiculous. And these stages weren't like short little spurts. They were long stages. But once I got into it, I got my mindset on it. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and beat it. And it turned out to be a good game. I'll give it that. Not an excellent game, but a good game. The next game, Batman Arkham Knight. I pre-ordered this game. I picked it up day one. Loved it. This game looks beautiful. The setup, gameplay, storyline. It probably frustrated me the most. There were some other games that frustrated the hell out of me, but this game, some of the challenges with dealing with the tanks, multiple helicopters. For those that play the game, they already know what I'm talking about. Militia, the guys on the tower, because the boss battles wasn't that challenging. I don't know why they made the side challenges more difficult. Who knows? Next game, Infamous First Light. It was almost like playing a whole nother game. I think this game cost me like $15, and you basically got to do, I forgot her name, but you basically got to do the girl's character from Infamous Second Son all by herself, and it leads up to the moment when you first meet her, and it was a really good game. I beat that. God of War 3 remastered, easy one. It looked good. I wish it would have looked better. I wish they would have added on more God of War games right along with this instead of just the one. Once I beat it, I traded it in. I might go back and get it just because, of course, I'm a God of War fan. Next game, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. This is the expansion pack that goes along with it. Basically, it's his own game for Wolfenstein: The New Order, which, crazy thing is, I actually just picked up the New Order, so I'll be playing that later down the road, and it looks really good. The Old Blood. I don't even enjoy first-person shooters, but this game is phenomenal. It's really good. The timeline, the gameplay, I mean, everything just measures out perfectly. You know when you're playing a really good game when you are invested. It's short. It's about a 5 to 8 hour game, but it's good. Each hour of this game is really good. I would suggest go ahead and pick that up. It's probably about $15, $20 now. The digital copy is probably cheaper. Next game was Young Thor. This was a game I picked up on a flash sale for like a couple bucks. It was another RPG game for the PSP, surprisingly. I did the download. I put in probably about 20-30 hours on this game. This young Thor, basically, Thor, the Thunder God, whatever. You basically a little RPG. You saving the girl. You're going through your normal stages: 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. You have your nice little boss battles, but each level you gotta level up, because I had to level my character up. Like, I think I got my character up to a level 90 or something like that by the end, because I was putting in a lot of crazy hours on this game, but I really enjoyed it. Next game was Dodgeball for the Super Nintendo, or for the Nintendo. Easy one, really good game. Another RPG, Paper Mario for the N64. I put in about 30-40 hours on this game. I had a really good time with this. I would suggest by all means you go pick this up. Keeping it in my collection, as you can see. I loved it. I don't need to really say more. Really good Mario game. Another game, real short game, took a few hours. Super Off-Road for the Super Nintendo. Had fun with that. It played just like the old arcade. I had a really good time with that. Just spent the day doing that. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Took me a little while to beat Ian Bison, but I actually beat him. Had fun with that. Next game was Rygar, the legendary adventure. Oh my god. This game I had to go through like 3 times, I think, to get to the end. And I got frustrated a lot with this game because once I got to the end, I thought, oh, this guy was the end. No, I had 2 more boss battles, and it's so crazy. But yeah, I loved it, man. I really had fun with this. I'm a big Rygar fan, so I was glad to finally beat it. It took me long enough. I put it down several times. Rayman Legends on the PS4, really awesome game. Really fun, colorful, vivid. The music, the atmosphere, it's a good side scroller, got little 2D elements in it. There's some challenges in there. Oh yeah. And it will frustrate the fuck out of you, man. There's some stages that, oh man, I definitely rage quit. I've never thrown my controller, but I was real close to doing it. Real close. Another game, The Order of 1886. It was a really good PS4 game. I don't see what the big gripe. It was a good game. It wasn't a bad game. It was short. But I do love third-person shooter games. Of course, the graphics. Oh my god, just mind-blowing. Definitely looked like a next-gen type of game. I love the wolves and all that, or werewolves and stuff like that. And I mean, everything. The story was cool. Everything just, all the perfect elements was mashed together. Just to keep up, number 23 at this point, which was Fez. Fez was an awesome platformer. I had it on the PS3, never beat it. I got stuck. I hated going through all these doors and knowing which door to go through to get to the next area. And I started using the map more. I started paying closer attention, but the game turned out to be really good. Despite Phil Fish's little bitch fit or whatever he had, it turned out to be a really great game. I'm a big fan of platformer, side-scroller type games, and I love the hell out of this game. And I picked up all the blocks and everything and unlocked another little dimension. So yeah, definitely a good game. Next game was Race to Sun. Spent about 4 or 5 hours on this game because each race only lasts you about 20-30 seconds. So basically I did probably several hundred races, maybe more. I think it was like 400 or 500 races, some crazy number. But I finally beat the game, leveled out at 25, opened up another dimension on that game too, and it was a really awesome racer. Really had fun with that. I go back and play it every now and then. Another game that was real challenging to me and long was Adventure Island for the NES. This game is long as hell. I think it has like 32 stages and there's no shortcuts, there's no nothing. Good thing is I played on my emulator, so I was able to do some save points. So if you see this as cheating, I don't care. I went through the game fair and square. I didn't do no secrets. I just did save points and stuff like that. Now, a couple times I had to use a cheat code to bring me back to that stage, but that was it. It didn't give me I didn't do no extra little man or nothing. No holds bar. And the last game that I just finished about a week and a half ago was Just Cause 3. The game turned out to be really good. It wasn't the best game that I played in 2016, but it was really good. I had a really good time. I did 100% completion on the Liberation, did a lot of the challenges. I wasn't able to complete the game 100%, but I loved it. And I'm deciding to keep it in my collection and go back and play it another time and just go back through it. Just a big sandlot of destruction and having fun. Man, what takes you back more than just being a kid again and having fun? Tell me some of the games that you guys completed for 2015. That was my list. Other than that, I'm Life 79. Currently, I'm finishing up Life is Strange. I'll probably move on to WOLFENSTEIN, The New Order, and I'm playing Diablo 3, the Reaper of Souls. My character's almost at a level 20 at this point. I'm just playing a mixture of everything. I'm glad to be in 2015 or 2016. Other than that, I'm SPILLIN, and I'm out.